Thank you again. This is Aaron Harris. Thank you again for joining us on this happy Tuesday for our newest installment of Tuesday Tips. We're going to switch it up a little bit. This installment is going to be about college readiness. So, parents of freshmen in high school that want to know what you can do to get your freshman ready for college, please listen up. Students that are freshmen, please listen up. I want to introduce our two contributors today. We have Laura Watt from University of Missouri St. Louis, and we also have Miss Erika Malone from St. Louis Community College.
Well, where shall we start, Laura? Where would you like to start? And then I'll follow your lead.
I like to stress to students, high school students, that it's never too early to plan and decide what you want to do post high school. And that it's very important to research and follow your own instincts. Don't go to a college where your best friend's going.
Exactly.
Don't go to a school because your dad wants you to be a doctor. Go to a school that you want and feel you've researched enough to know that that's an area. One important thing too is to take the interest test that I believe that the community colleges offer.
We do.
And hopefully the high school counselors have access to, and really find out, what your interests are and what you're going to want to start off with. It doesn't have to be your ultimate career, but something to start with.
Yes, and I'd like to add to that. There are a lot of electronic resources that are available on the website. I know through St. Louis Community College, through University of Missouri St. Louis. Maybe it's starting with a couple of majors that you're interested in. And then usually you could just type into, I know University of Missouri St. Louis from their career and employment website has a great search engine that says, what can I do with this major? So sometimes students think, I want to go into, I want to be a forensic scientist, and not realizing the majority of science courses that you have to take in addition to criminal justice. So I think starting there, doing that research, so that when it's time, like Laura said, to start researching schools, you want to make sure that that school is accredited. Maybe they have your program, but maybe it's not accredited by, the HLC, the Higher Learning Commission. So, maybe narrowing it down to maybe, 2 or 3 majors, and do your research, and then find out what schools, whether it's maybe you want to go out of state, maybe it's in state, that align with what you want to major in. And if you don't know what you want to major in, what would you advise, Laura, on where a student could, what pathway they could follow if they're not sure what they want to major in?
I really recommend interviewing people in different careers, starting off even before your freshman year, talking to people, job shadowing. And the other thing to keep in mind is the one thing I have seen a lot of that research would prevent is going to multiple schools, accruing multiple credit hours, and then finding out when you're a junior or senior in college, you don't have enough financial aid to pursue your senior year coursework. People take a lot of credits and skip around in their schools and find at some point that they don't have the grade point average. They had a couple really bad semesters. They have too many credits, and financial aid's not going to cover that. So to me, you want to prevent mistakes early on and not be, well, my friend's going here, I'm going to do this my first year, my freshman year, and then I'm going to go out of state and try that, and come back and find out that they don't take the credits from one of your out of state schools.
Right. And the St. Louis Community College and a variety of community colleges in our region offer an answer or a solution to what you just spoke about. One be it is students can get a jump start on their college career as early as their sophomore year, and even sometimes middle schoolers through our dual enrollment program that would allow students to take college courses as a high school, possibly freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. So that way that they can get acclimated to college prior to stepping on the campus of a four-year college or university. Students many times don't know as far as the structure or what it takes to get that four-year degree. And basically all students, if you're pursuing a baccalaureate degree, a bachelor's degree, you have to take general education courses. And typically that's the, first year and a half coursework of your bachelor's degree, and those courses can be taken at at the community college, and so at a fraction of what a student would pay at the four-year college or university. And through or by way of the Missouri Transfer Library, or what we call MOTR, Missouri Transfer Course Library, courses will transfer seamlessly between public 2-year and 4-year institutions. So freshman composition at St. Louis Community College, the curriculum lines up with freshman composition at the University of Missouri Columbia. So that gives students the ability to take those courses at an affordable price. And for our dual enrollment students, it's half the cost of a traditional community college credit. So with St. Louis Community College, it's $67 per credit hour for a student to take a college course. So that's a great way for students to start taking those general education courses and cut down the cost, before, if they decide to, when they do go into the 4-year and they want to pursue their PhD and find our graduate degree and they find out they've run out of financial aid, there are some opportunities there. So we do encourage students to take advantage of the opportunities. And we also have where students can complete their associate's degree by the time that they complete their high school diploma. It's called our early college programs, and we offer them at all of our campus locations. So it's a great way for students to jumpstart their college career and get the first 2 years of college done by the time that they complete their high school diploma.
And that's another reason why you don't want to wait too long to start this process, because there's things you can do to earn that college credit your sophomore, junior, senior year. So if you're not prepared and not certain what you want to do, you're getting a late start. And I really want to stress, I hate to see kids wait until their senior year and decide, okay, what do I want to do for college next year? You can't take advantage of the A+ program. You can't take advantage of getting college credit if you're not thinking ahead and doing the research and checking out what kind of financial aid options are out there.
And that's a very good point, Laura. Many of the four-year colleges and universities will have financial aid calculators on their website. So you can, put in all the information, lodging, the cost of housing, food, materials, and that'll give you a full idea of the cost of your of tuition. And so again, I can't say it enough. Look for those opportunities to reduce the cost of your education. And not only at St. Louis Community College, but UMSL has an excellent advanced credit program. Many four-year colleges and universities have that. So there's lots of opportunities for students to get those general education courses completed while in high school. And Laura mentioned the A+ program. I think that's an amazing program and opportunities for students in the state of Missouri. Although it says A+, you don't have to have a 4.0 GPA to qualify for the scholarship. It's for high school students that have a cumulative GPA of a 2.5. They have to have a 95% attendance record over the 4 years that, or the time that they've been at that high school, demonstrate good citizenship, good behavioral record, and then they have to do 50 hours of unpaid tutoring. 25% of it can be through job shadowing as well. So once they meet those eligibility requirements, they qualify for a scholarship that will pay for 2 years at a community college or a approved technical college. So again, that's a great way to fund the first 2 years of the bachelor's degree. And many schools have a transfer scholarship. I was a recipient of a transfer scholarship to go to Missouri State as a community college student. And so it was basically first 2 years. If you get first 2 years of A+ paid for, you get a full ride transfer scholarship. That's a way for you to get out of school with little to no debt. The University of Missouri St. Louis has a full ride scholarship for transfers, and they offer additional transfer scholarships as well. So there's lots of opportunities for you to lower that total cost of education.
And I might add too, you mentioned a little earlier, Erica, that some of the programs you can do in 3 years. We have one in the College of Education that you can grow your own. And if you decide that you want to be a teacher, which takes a very special kind of person, but you can do our program in 3 years instead of the 4 years.
Wow.
And I know that's just one example of programs out there that are accelerated. So I just can't stress enough, don't wait till your junior or senior year to think about these important decisions. And at this point, you're going to have several careers in a lifetime, but you want to make a good choice for that first career and do something viable that you're going to enjoy at least for a few years until something else comes along.
Right. And I know we spoke quite a bit about, pursuing a bachelor's degree or going on to a four-year college or university, but there's a lot of career and technical opportunities or jobs, middle skill jobs for students. Maybe the four-year college track is not for you. Maybe you're wanting to become a nurse, maybe a dental hygienist, maybe you want to become a funeral director, a chef. There's lots of opportunities that you can become gainfully employed without going the four-year route. We have some amazing programs, not only at St. Louis Community College, but many career and technical programs throughout the state where students can get in and get out and become gainfully employed. Maybe the field or the career that you want to pursue only requires a career or certificate of specialization. So for instance, we have a program that's called IT Help Desk End User. So those are the individuals when you need something, you have some issues, you don't know how to get into Zoom, or you're having issues with your computer at your particular corporation. It takes a student a year, 2 semesters to get that certification, and they're ready to enter the field of being a help desk end user professional. Then later on, if they decide that they want to level up that certificate, they can get our Associate of Applied Science in Network Engineering or Cybersecurity, and they get to move those 30 or so credit hours into that program so that they're able to complete that program within a year. So there's lots of, stackable opportunities for students to get in and get out and become gainfully employed. We also have accelerated training opportunities. Maybe a student wants to become a truck driver or a personal trainer. So there's lots of opportunities. So if the four-year track isn't for you, there's lots of other opportunities for you to pursue your career of interest.
I also, when I first graduated, I knew I wanted to study interior design, and I wanted to get out of the state. I wanted to go away to school. So I went away and got an associate's degree in 2 years. And I took off 3 years and retail and decided, you know what, this is not what I want to do. And at that point, I was able to transfer to a 4-year school.
Excellent.
After I took a little time off. And I think that's something to consider too, that you may start off with one of these certificate programs or 2-year programs, associate degrees, but it's always possible to go back and continue that degree.
That's a very excellent point. I know that was my pathway as I started off at the community college. Not certain what I wanted to do career-wise. And so during my academic journey at St. Louis Community College, I met some great professors, which kind of put me on the pathway to go on to a 4-year college or university. I was able to do well at the community college. And that's a great thing about the two-year college. It has great redemptive qualities. Maybe you weren't the best high school student. You can come to the community college and build a great academic foundation to move on to the 4-year college or maybe into your career. I was afforded the opportunity to receive a full ride transfer scholarship. And again, that put me on the pathway to get my graduate degree. in my in my dreams, my wildest dreams, I had not, I did not realize that I would go on and pursue a graduate degree. And again, it all started with that firm foundation that I received from, leaving high school, going on to the 2-year college. So everybody's academic journey is different, but the most important part is just following your passion, and you can't go wrong with that. To just talk briefly about, we were talking about preparing for college and opportunities. There are opportunities for students to earn college credit, either through advanced placement, which is based on, usually most high schools will offer advanced placement courses. They're taught by your high school teacher. You take this class, and then at the end of the class, you take a test. And depending on your score, you could earn college credit. So that's one route. And then there's also dual credit, which is usually offered again by either community colleges or four-year colleges in your region. And that's where you take the course also with your instructor, and your credit is based, or your performance is, the credit is based off of your performance throughout the 16 weeks of the class. So again, like Laura was saying, research, go in your high school course catalog. And as a freshman, plot out, my sophomore year, I'm going to take AP's, English, or I'm going to take this dual credit course. And then you could plot out, maybe I'm going to take my freshman year of high school throughout my 4 years or 3 years in high school. So again, that's all about proper planning, laying out your resources and creating a plan.
I would also add, do the research and talk to people. Talk to your career counselor or your guidance counselor, excuse me. Don't be afraid to go out and do campus visits when you're a freshman and sophomore. Get the information. You can't get enough information and research. I would even start a notebook or some kind of collection of information that you're gathering. Take the strong inventory, I know, is one. Take the interest tests that are available and talk to people in areas. They may be able to share something that you didn't even think about in an industry that you're interested in. So be sure and talk. Job shadow. Volunteering is also a way I got my first job out of my 4-year experience. I volunteered at a museum and went ahead and got a degree in history at the University of Missouri, St. Louis. And I had volunteered at a museum since high school. And it led to my first job. So, volunteering is a great way to network. And I would not be afraid to start networking, talking to people in the field, joining clubs at school that might give you some exposure.
That's a very good point. Very good point.
And like you, Erika, I've had 3 careers so far. And I keep, you learn and you talk to people and your values change and your interests change over the decades. Doesn't seem like that when you're in high school, but I had no idea that I would pursue a master's degree in higher education when I was in my 20s or even my 30s.
I would have to agree. I think I went into college planning to be a dancer and then a broadcaster, and I was all over the place. And it was my first job when I transferred to Missouri State. I worked in the Office of Admissions, and that's where I discovered my passion and would lead me down the road to work in admissions and later on to study in higher education as well. So I just have a passion for helping students make the bridge to, getting to their career or college of choice. So again, it wasn't something that I decided, I'm going to pursue higher education. I didn't know what higher education was at that time. Right. So again, like you said, just being blessed by certain people coming in your pathway and experiences led me to this. So. And so I think what's great about students, millennials, or the generations coming up, they have so many resources at their fingertips. I call it YouTube or Google University. If they want to learn what it takes to become this type of career, pursue this type of major, it's available at their fingertips. And again, it's just having, like you said, developing a plan. I love the idea about having the binder or the workbook to kind of reflect back on and to record all of your information so that you can make that informed decision, so you can sit down and have that educated conversation with your parent to convince them why you should be going to this particular institution. So again, I agree with you. Just doing the research, making it a priority, and not waiting to the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter already knows she's going to St. Louis Community College. You ask her, she's going there in her sophomore year to start working her associate's degree. So I started early with her, and she's in the 8th grade. She already knows the plan. So.
The beautiful thing about the St. Louis Community College system is we have 4 campuses, and each of them has different areas that you can explore. So don't just go to one, go to all 3 campuses, or all 4, and see what the different certificate programs and options that are available to you.
Yeah, that is a great thing. Yeah.
And start visiting college campuses and talking to the admissions reps and getting information to collect to put in your binder so that you can talk to your parents and have people take notes from the job shadowing and the interviews that you might pursue. And ask people, what did you do to get to this position? What were your steps that you took to become a paralegal? What do you do? Ask people, because they have made the mistakes and made the choices that maybe could benefit you to make a more direct choice.
Thank you, Ms. Malone and Ms. White, for helping us out on this Tuesday's tips. Ms. Malone, if they wanted to follow up with you, do you have an email address you'd like to provide?
They can email me at emalone, which is emalone14 at stlcc.edu, or they can look me up on social media. If they put in Ask Erika, which is ERIKA STLCC, they can find me on Facebook, or they can find me on Twitter.
All righty, that sounds like a plan. What about you, Ms. White?
You can reach me at WATT, my last name, L for Laura, at umsl.edu.
All right, thank you, ladies, for your time. This has been another installment of Tuesday's Tips. Please share with any freshmen, sophomores that are in high school. Spread the knowledge and spread the wealth. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. Bye.